Luong Duc Thien. We've seen him on the circuit, played in the Premier League pool. Started off slow in the Premier League, Phil, if you can cast your mind that far back in the season. But then he sort of come good and won a few matches near the end.
Yeah, before that, Carl, I must say, we were told that match 3 was Billy Thorpe against Nguyen Duc Thien, but that is going to be now match 4, so we'll have to wait a little while to see Billy the banker. Next up, it's this all-Vietnamese clash that was originally scheduled to be match 3. This is a match that I think it's going to be difficult to predict a winner.
Yeah, we're familiar with Nguyen Duc Thien, of course. Nguyen Duc Dung, not too sure. Still not too sure. The jump shot was pretty easy, so we'll just bide our time a little bit. Looks okay on the cue though. Looks to have a fancy watch on as well, Phil. You can see that glistening under the lights. Did this show its face? Can you see the potting angle? Not too sure. I think he's gone for the short cue again. He only has to get over the edge of the ball though. It's close this, if it's got the legs, if it keeps rolling it may go in. It's gone out.
Well, in the last half an hour or so, we've seen 2 extraordinary flukes. One on table 2, now this one. There was some doubt here, caught the cushion, but at that pace it was always going to find gravity.
Now this is Luong Duc Thien, familiar face on the World 9-Ball Tour, one of the familiar faces from Vietnam that we've seen. Yeah, I didn't see the miss coming there. He's a solid enough player. This ball cuts, may be tempted. Got to avoid the bottom left corner, the scratch. So there's a bit of work to do with the cue ball. He's had a go. Watch the scratch. Cue ball needs to slow down. That's good. It's more than good actually. It's got a nice angle. Just pop the ball.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, also, after every match, so, well, what's going on here, Phil? I've seen some balls missed here in rack. Well, this is not a sign of what's to come. Yeah, as I was saying, table fitters have been out after every match because JJ in the second match and myself in the first match, I felt like the table was pulling a little bit, and whenever you set up a pool table and you level it, obviously there's quite a bit of weight involved in a pool table, so it sets into the floor. So me and JJ was out there with Brendan Moore, tournament director, and the table fitters, and they were telling us that the table's on quite a thick carpet, so they're going to just keep go out and leveling it. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Settled in.
Got to take the bank shot on it. There's just no real safety option available for long. Probably got to play this with a bit of pace as well because of the slide. Looks like it's sitting okay. Obviously it's always difficult to see from the camera angle. Maybe it's not quite there because he's taking a bit of time over this shot.
Two bigger bounce on the 6. Not too bad. What a side point on this one here is that we were talking when we were over on Table 2 about Nguyen Duc being the hero in the World Cup of Pool this year for the Philippines. You would think the Vietnamese player who goes deepest in this event must have serious consideration to be on the Vietnam team for next year's World Cup, which is an incentive in itself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, bit of a strange opening rack, this one. Well, not much chance of Luong Duc Thien missing this one. This is perfect. I think he starts off quite slow from what I've seen at the Premier League. That earlier miss gives us an indication, Phil, but I think he will grow and grow into this match.
This is right at the bottom of the draw. Also down there, Nguyen Duc Dung of Chinese Taipei. He's 5-1 up on Jamie Gregory. And the reward for the winner of that match is a meeting in round 2 with Shane Van Boning, who was one of many big name players today to get a walkover. Amongst the others, Albin Auschen, Moritz Newhausen also. Canada's John Morra walked over in his first match. Ko Peng Chung may well do tomorrow, although that's not confirmed yet. After this rack, I'll give you some more updated scores in the first round, which is now well advanced.
He's fluked this. It was a good full ball hit. Oh, it stayed over the pocket. A little firmer, probably would have fell.
What was with you there, Carl? I thought that was a certainty to go in. It wasn't going a trickly pace, was it? But it refused to drop.
It's these situations that always give a good indication to myself of the level of somebody, you know, someone we've never seen, of course, of where we feel like their game is at. A little unfortunate to leave himself jacked up here. He's got to use the bridge. Got to be careful. Playing it lefty, got to be careful. That bridge hand doesn't look very stable to me.
Thinking, as I walked in today this morning, this area has got 4 superb stadiums, all very confined vicinity. There's this one, which is absolutely top notch. 2 others. There's the national stadium where they play international football, which is 4,000. It's all in this district.
Going airball. Good controlled jump shot. That was all about the cue ball. He knew the 6 ball was there. Get rid of the 2 ball. Stop the cue ball in its place. Probably see another jump shot now as well. The only difference with this one is what shots he's trying to play. And he's left it.
This level, this should be quite a straightforward net.
right spin, just died off the rail.
I think we can reasonably assume if that had been the first match this morning, the cue ball might have made the journey for ideal position, but as we've said before, the cushions seem a little less lively than they were right at the start of play today.
Yeah, he's played a bit of a half-hearted shot there. He sort of took the bank on, probably thinking it'll go safe. Cue ball's not really on the 7, slightly overhit it, but this is tough. It's very
I enjoy commentating with you, Carl. My biggest criticism would be that you sit on the fence. Not. Say it as it is. Say it as it is.
You're saying I should hold back?
No, I'm saying you should be forthright and continue to do what you do, because it was awful, basically. This table, you know, still has its rolls and its quirks. Look at this ball here. Went away from the cushion there, and then suddenly gets past that middle pocket and starts to go back towards the cushion, and it made a secondary contact.
Yeah, word on the street is after today's play they may be cutting the carpet out around where the feet go, because apparently it's very cushiony. So we'll see. The good thing is players have not said anything, and they're obviously the ones at the table. This is awkward though, because yeah, this is why he's jacked up. How about this for a shot?
Yeah, this one won't run off. Not at that pace.
Been a very scrappy start.
So, Carl, I've decided over the first few days when I'm commentating with you, and indeed when I'm with Jeremy as well, I'm going to pose him some general questions. Not general knowledge questions, just questions about his opinions on certain stuff. And I'm going to do that with you at the end of this rack.
Okay. Well, that shouldn't be too long away. Playing some weird shots at the minute. He's left himself in all kinds. All he can do now is just pot it in the corner. The cue ball will roll forward, and then he's going to have to take a thin 7 ball down the rail. Well, I'll tell you what, how well did he hit that ball? I thought he was going to roll it in.
At certain snooker tournaments back in the UK, we have what they call hot shots. We pick out what we think is the best shot of the week, and that would be a candidate. That was terrific. Especially against the backdrop of mistakes he's made. That was going to a whole new strata.
Nice cueist. He's long. You can see very compact. Stays still. There's the 9 ball, 3-0.
Yes, and the way this is going, it doesn't look all that encouraging for Nguyen Duc Dung. Now then, the first question is topical. If you don't know already, Fedor Gorsht is going to represent the USA at the Mosconi Cup in December. Alexandra Palace, December 6 to 9, for one of those unique occasions in sport when the atmosphere is otherworldly. It's USA against Europe. So Fedor Gorsht is going to represent the USA for the first time. Here's the question, Carl, to you, and as a Mosconi Cup warrior yourself, you're well qualified to answer. How much will his presence improve the American team?
I think it will improve it on paper, in the sense of the Europeans know how good Fedor Gorsht is. He's done very well the last few months on the tour. You know, he lost in the final US Open. He's won the Perry Open 9 ball just yesterday, actually. He's been to quarterfinals, last 16s of the other majors. We all know how good Fedor Gorsht is. However, we haven't seen him play in front of 3,000 lunatic fans going mental for Europe, and believe me, they're going to get on his back, because he's now representing USA. They are going to get on his back, and Team Europe know that. Obviously Jason Shaw's not in the team as of yet. If he gets in the team, he will play up on it like you've never seen before, because that's what he's like. So Fedor's going to go into uncharted territory, so we don't know how he's going to perform. That's what makes it so exciting. So on paper, yes, USA are a lot stronger, but we just don't know. But my worry lies with Europe. We don't know how strong Europe are going to be yet. You know, we've got Sanchez Ruiz, a rookie in Europe, hasn't played in Europe. Al-Qaeda, he has. So he's got a bit of experience.
He's been on 4 teams in the past and 3 winning teams.
Yes, so he's got experience. He knows what's going on. Who's going to take the 3rd spot after this tournament that we're at right now? It's very close. It's very tight. It could be a number of players, and there's a few rookies lurking. So if one of them is a rookie, well, who knows, Phil?
I'll ask you another question, which is similar to the one I've just asked at the end of this rack, which again seems imminent because Luong seems to have found his stroke. That, though, overcooked.
Yeah, now he's left this a little thin. Can still get there. Cue ball's going to go a couple of rails. Play the 9 ball in the bottom right.
When you're playing with below centre striking, there's always the danger of hitting a shot like that too thick, but he did pretty well, although the cue ball is a little too close to the side cushion for comfort com.
Yeah, I'll just be delighted he potted the 8. Stay very still, trust your cue action, that's the key to that shot.
Well, there must be something about our commentary duo, because every match we seem to do today is one-sided. We started off with a 9-0 whitewash, and who's to say this won't be exactly the same?
Can we work together more often, Phil?
That's very lazy of you. Okay, the second question, which is related to the first.
Well, you say it's lazy. I'm just going to butt in. I like being out there watching all the tables, Phil. I like having a walk around.
I know you do. You're ever present. You're all over the place. The question was, I've asked you how much do you think the inclusion of Fedor Gorst will improve America. How much do you think the inclusion of Fedor Gorst will improve the Mosconi Cup in general? And I'm not just talking about 2023, over the years.
Yeah, it's massive for USA. It's well documented. Feel like, you know, we've said it, we worked the Mosconi Cup last year, Phil. Always feel like they were a player short. And what I mean by that is a player where they go out there and they win points, they get the crowd on their side, you know they're going to go out there. Like Skylar Woodward, when he first started off, he wasn't that player who he is now. Now you feel like you can really rely on Skylar Woodward. When Jeremy sends him out there in singles or doubles, he can just sit back and think, yeah, this kid's done it before in this arena. Last year in Vegas, it was brutal. The crowd, it's a scary place to play, and if you've not had much success there, that doesn't bode good for you. But you can overturn that. But I think, listen, overall, Fedor playing for US, I get it. I get why he wants to play for US. I get his situation. He's in a funny situation. It's a smart move. I think overall the Mosconi Cup will absolutely 100% benefit from this, because we want to see a close match, don't we? We don't just want thinking, oh, Europe are going to win and this is another one. Listen, this year, 30th anniversary, it's going to go off in London, I'll tell you now. It might be the best one ever.
And that's without you to stir the pot.
I'll be there stirring the pot one way or the other. Whether it's in comms or in the crowd, I'll be there. I'll make sure I am.
This is going from bad to worse for Nguyen.
Yeah, and when you do that type of scratch off the 2-rail kick, well, you just feel like snapping your cue in half. Ball in hand. Now he can put the cue ball, leave himself this perfect angle to get on the pink 4. That frees up the purple 5 to play in the other corner. 6 ball goes in both bottom corners. This is just all nice, this for Luong Duc Thien.
So you've got this reputation, quite correct, for being truthful and forthright. Have you ever snapped your cue in frustration?
Carl, the truth. I've got a couple of stories there, actually. Yeah, there's a couple of stories.
Go on then.
The first one, I was about... I want to say I was about 19. I'd split up with my ex-girlfriend, lost the plot and wrapped my cue around the corner of the house. That's story one, so it was nothing to do with pool.
And of course the house won.
So that cue went, and then I got another cue, and a few years later I was making the transition from English 8 ball to American, and I was still trying to play a bit of English 8 ball at the same time, and it's very difficult to do because of the ball size, the physics, the different cues. And I was at an English 8 ball tournament. I want to say I was in Coventry, I think it was Coventry, and the first frame, we call it a frame, I missed the black down the cushion, we call it a cushion. I shook my opponent's hand, I walked out the arena and just javelled the cue as far as I could and just left it.
And we call that petulance.
Yeah, so I've never actually snapped one over the knee.
Well, at the end of this rack, I will tell you a very funny and absolutely true story about a world snooker champion who did smash his cue, but had problems doing it.
Oh, okay, I know you're good for your stories, Phil.
And here, Luong Duc Thien is good for a 5-0 lead. He's not missing this. Again, I'll use that phrase, one-way traffic. More than halfway to victory. Yes, the World Snooker Champion in question was Graham Dott, who prevailed at the Crucible in 2006. He was having a hard time. He'd just been beaten in the Welsh Open, and he was driving home back to Scotland, which is quite a lengthy drive in UK terms, from South Wales. He suffered a frustrating defeat, wasn't happy with his performance, and he stopped in what we call a service station on the motorway, and he decided to smash his cue there. It wasn't an immediate kind of, I'm going to do this at the table. The only problem was, he's quite a thin fellow, Graham, not an ounce of excess weight on him. And as he was trying to smash the cue, he couldn't do it. And he reckoned that there was a lorry driver looking down on him, you know, with complete derision. Here he is trying to break his cue and he can't do it. Eventually he did, and got a new cue, and the rest is history. Went on to become world champion in 2006. But initially, after quite some time, he couldn't break the cue. It refused to go.
Yeah, I think Graham needs to go to the gym, lift a few more weights.
Here, Nguyen needs to bring about a wholesale change in the match, but you can't really see it happening. The one to the side, a shot on the two, whether it's tactical or offensive. It's the former. But the side he had on there actually was counterproductive. Now that was better. Not just pulling off the combo, but gaining position on the two.
Well, he's sizing this one up. It looks incredibly thin. Also looks like the cue ball would just fly straight into that side pocket. So he's got to get this delicately. And watch the cue ball. Might need to arc. Well, okay. Straight in the side pocket.
You know, when you're nervous, and he clearly is, sometimes players move, jump around, snatch on particular shots. But it also manifests itself in brain freeze. He must have known that scratch was on, and yet his mind wouldn't process that information. And all things being equal, it's probably led to the loss of another rack.
Yeah, he will have known the cue ball was going the other side. I think he just thought, I'll give it a good old whack, see if it hits one of the jaws and get a little bit lucky.
Well, it looks like, Cole, you're going to be roaming around this arena in a short amount of time on your break between matches.
Yeah, I'm sure when I'm roaming around, you'll be at the food truck, Phil.
So the worst thing is when I'm commentating with you, I can't even deny it because it might well be true.
Did you go to breakfast this morning at the hotel? It's very nice.
Yes, I did. And this is pretty much over for me, the way things are going. He didn't make the best of starts, Luong Duc Thien. First couple of racks, I thought he was on the shaky side. But as the match has progressed and the opposition has become weaker, then Luong has looked like the international campaigner that he is. You were mentioning the fact, Carl, he's been involved in the Premier League. Now that tournament is unique because it's a massive round robin over several days, and you get to play tons of matches against top line opposition. That for him must have been priceless. So this is a race to 9, only 3 more needed. And it looks as though if, or should we say when, Luong wins, he will play Kyle Amoroto in the next round because Amoroto is on the hill. He's doubling up on Paul McCarthy at 8-4. Also on the hill, Lee Kun Fang over Jamie Gregory. The winner of that plays Shane Van Boning next. And look at this break. This is what you want. A simple one. The 2 remaining in mid-table, nice and available for later. Everything in the Open. Over the years, Carl, you must have administered plenty of drubbings, trouncings, call them what you like, hammerings. I think the key to it is, even though a player is well in front, they need to keep their concentration, don't they? Any drop in that could lead to the loss of a couple of racks, and, you know, once in 1,000, something could happen where they lose a match they've got no right to.
Yeah, I think if you're Luong Duc Thien, you just want to get the job done. You want to get the match over. I always wonder how well these two know each other as well. Have they played before in some of the local tournaments? Do they just not know each other at all? I always feel like that counts for a lot because maybe one of them's got a better record. Maybe there's a bit of that going on. He's lost the cue ball a bit there though.
Yeah, he caught the 5 a little fat, didn't he? And the 6 was frankly nowhere near its target. So, can Nguyen get off the mark?
All because of the previous positional shot. Just left himself that bit too much to do, but the top boys recover, get down and pop the ball. That's why we see this difference in level from the players.
That was confidently struck with the cue ball very close to the side rail. Now come on, Nguyen. Believe in the technique. Yeah, well done. A rack goes to Nguyen's side of the ledger. Luong is 6-1 up. And of course the 6 was the problem ball for him in that one. Some results to tell you about. Francesco Candela of Italy, who's had a really good year. Solid without being spectacular. He's beaten Nguyen Duc Thien 9-0. Jeffrey Ignacio from the Philippines, 7-2 up on Jia Tiu Tan. After some early struggles, he was 5-4 down at one stage. Dennis Grabber has beaten Tran Van San 9-6. Looking more promising for Shane Walford, the US Mosconi Cup candidate. He's 6-3 up on Lee Kwang Wei. Huang Van Bao has beaten David Holbach 9-6. And Kunal Verdia from India is 8-4 up on the hill against Lee Nguyen. Dimitris Lakatis and Michael Boannon there 6-6. Sullivan Clark 6-3 over Chu Kwok Hung. Antonius Kakaris 7-3 over Peria Oliver. Darren Young 7-6 over Brandon Fugit.
Decent break there.
One of the results which appertains to this, Kyle Amoroto from the Philippines is through, so he will play in round 2, the winner of the contest we're watching right now.
You could see it was very tight past the 8, so he's not playing that pot. So he's gone for the other pot. Watch out, cue ball. Ooh, very fortunate there. The scratch would have been, well, the scratch could have been a quick rack, because if you look where the 3 ball is, with ball in hand, you could pot the 2 and then play the 3-9 combination.
What a jump shot that was. The resounding noise of the ball going into the pocket, into the meat of the pocket as well.
Yeah, that was very special. Needs another special shot here. Bank looks like it sets up pretty nice. I'd be tempted with this one. Yeah, another good shot. Now he can play the 4 ball, come over for the 5-8 combination. And he throws a missing from nowhere. It's just inexplainable.
He's missed to that particular pocket 3 pots in this match. 2 of them have been entirely simple. he's actually very fortunate where the 4-ball came to rest.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is tricky, this. Well, he's just whacking balls now, Phil. He's playing like you on a Tuesday night.
Carl is referring to the league system of snooker that occurs in the UK pretty much every night of the week apart from Sundays. And I did play on a Tuesday night actually, but I was always very measured. Like one of those cautious opening batsmen in cricket. No risks.
That does not surprise me.
I won more than my share, but it wasn't pretty. All fast.
It's not bad this, because if you look where the 2 balls have finished up, the 6 ball is a real easy combination, so you can play the 4 onto the 6 and just pop the 7. You stay at the table. If you're tuning in for the first time, well, I was just about to explain that is allowed, but he didn't do it, but he's going to do it now. Luong Duc Thien will come to the table. The 4 ball is the lowest ball on the table, so if you pot another ball, you keep shooting, so you play the pink 4 onto the brown ball.
Yeah, the key to playing that kind of shot is to ensure that after you've made what was pretty much a certain plant, you leave position on the next ball, which Luong did, just about. This might be a little critical, Carl, but he's only been impressive in patches, even though he holds a commanding lead.
Yeah, that's okay. We've seen the previous rack where he missed the 7 ball, I think it was, because he didn't quite get right on it. So he's prone to missing balls if he's not ideal. This is ideal. One railer back out into open space for a simple 9. Not playing like a player who's got a big lead though.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that his form has been sporadic in this match. At times he's played some really good racks, but also he's been prone to error. Nevertheless, 7-1, a pretty good first run out. He's only 2 racks away from victory. Now I can tell you round 2 is underway, and the Filipino we saw first thing this morning, Anton Raga, well, he won 9-0 in his first match, and he's 3-0 up in his second against Hoa Can Hui of Vietnam. That's over on table 4. On table 3, Ko Ping Han, the youngest of the 3 wonderfully talented co-brothers. He shared the first 2 racks with To Lian Han, who is a former World Cup of Pool finalist. In a short time we're going to see Francisco Sanchez Ruiz on table 2. He walked over in the first round, so this is his first action of the tournament against Sung Liqiao of Chinese Taipei. If you win in round 2, it means you're through to winners qualification.
Got the option of the push. Can also play the kick. Just need to have another look, see what's available. Yeah, he could kick this and stick it behind the red 3. ball must hit a rail though after contact. I say that because the 2 might hit the 9. So he needs to play it with a bit of pace. He could fluke the 9 if it's it really bad. Ideally the 2 goes in between the 9 and the 8. Yeah, just like so. Didn't get the kick and stick, and he's left the pot.
This is such an interesting scoreline, I have to tell you, in mid-rack. Nguyen Duc Dung of Vietnam is leading in round 2, 5-1 against Lee Van Cortese.
Well, that is a very useful flick on the 8 ball. Yeah, Cortese is just playing pretty much in front of us, Phil, I can see. But I don't know who he's playing. I'm just trying to see if I recognise the face of Nguyen. I don't.
Up and down off the shot, which doesn't instill confidence in the outcome. Oh, terrific pot, and not the worst kiss. He played to come off 2 cushions around the pink 4 ball, but the contact he made has worked out okay. Don't play this one too slowly though. That's the kind of ball you simply can't afford to miss. I thought that was a very jabby cue action call.
Yeah, it needed to be played into the rail as well. Not the far jaw. And the reason why he's not got down and played this already is because that 4 ball's touching the rail. So it's not quite over the pocket. He's got to play it very thin. May even have to play it rail first and then flick the 4 ball in. You've got to be careful you don't scratch in the other corner. Oh, look at this, he's made a mess of this one.
And again, the worst results. I think it's fair to say, while he fully deserves this lead, there's no doubt about that, Luong has had the lion's share of the running. Trouble with that, yes, the pot was on, but he got no control over the cue ball.
Yeah, and in the end, he's fortunate it didn't go behind the brown 7. One good pot will set up the 6-9 combo, though.
And there is said good pot. The 6-9 is completed, and so, by winning 2 of the last 3 racks, Nguyen restores a modicum of respectability to the scoreline at 7-2. Can he apply more heat to Luong Duc Thien? Lee Van Cortese has pulled a rack back against Nguyen Duc Dung. It's 5-2 now to Nguyen. Bui Truong An of Vietnam has taken a 2-0 lead over Sanyan Perlovanovic over on table 11. And Ralph Suke finds himself 2-0 down to a Vietnamese opponent in Trinh Van Binh. Michael Feliciano, who had a healthy payday by being runner-up in the Perry Open last night. He's over on table 5, where he has taken a 2-1 lead against Michael Yednak. These are all second round matches.
Well, he can cut this ball in. Can slowly start to rack up some racks here. He's guaranteed a shot on the 2, you feel. He's left it over the pocket. Has he got lucky? Has he got lucky? He has got lucky. Should kick this ball in. But it could have been worse.
Yes, you feel with a direct pot, Luong would definitely have obtained position on the 2. By kicking, he still should. But there is a degree of doubt.
Should still kick that ball in. I mean, come on. He's not playing like a player that's in front, is he?
Yeah, that was a bad miss, and essentially it's a gift, isn't it? Look at the table. Should be 7-3 here. It should be, but it isn't going to be. A match, Carl, marked by, I was going to say several mistakes, but I'm going to say numerous mistakes.
Well, surely he should get himself on the hill here. This is just connect the dots. I'd fancy you to pot these, Phil.
You're being very insulting about my abilities today, Carl. That's the second jab in a very short space of time.
Only abilities as a player, not a pundit.
That'll be the next thing with you. You'll be saying that when I was playing, they used ivory balls and that kind of stuff.
They didn't?
No. Quite as much into the cue ball as he wanted there, but
yeah,
shouldn't miss the 8.
Yeah, sorry Phil, I was just saying because he's right-handed as well. It just means he's got to start messing about with a longer cue.
It's not an issue today, or it won't be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, but it will be on Saturday and Sunday, because that's when the 30-second shot clock comes in, and having to take extra equipment means your time is eaten into. But the time in this match could be running out, should be running out for Nguyen Duc Dung. And the reason for that, Luong Duc Thien has taken an 8-2 lead. He's on the hill. Can confirm Shane Van Boning's second round opponent. It will be Lee Kun Fang of Chinese Taipei, who comfortably defeated Jamie Gregory of the UK 9-2 in round 1. The number of matches left to be completed today in the first round dwindling down to a small number. Can report a win for Antonius Kakaris over Peria Oliver at 9-3. And Kunal Verdia of India has beaten Lee Win 9-5. And Shane Walford for him, every victory is vital. Well, I can tell you, he's off to a good start. He's beaten Lee Kwong Hui 9-3. Jeff Ignacio of the Philippines, a 9-2 winner over Jia Tiu Can.
Tester here. If he's got a bit of an angle, that will help. I mean, let's be honest, Phil. Didn't have much belief in Luong Duc Thien to pot that ball the way he's played in this match. I know it looks like a very one-sided match, but that's not through fantastic play.
No, and as I said, in the next round, the winner plays Kyle Amorotto, and if Kyle is watching this match, he won't be intimidated at all.
Hard to see this going wrong. Just make sure you get the cue ball in the middle of the table. Perfect angle on the 7. 8 and 9 pretty much over the pocket. He's trying. He's trying his best.
Where's the cue ball? Oh, please don't go in there. End of story.
Wowzers, I'd have had big money on him clearing the table there. That was insane.
That really is a sad way to lose. Not to go out of the tournament, it's double elimination at this stage. But this is surely all she wrote. Indeed, you look at that scoreline, you think, well, a 9-2 victory, that's impressive. At times, for brief interludes, Luong Duc Thien was impressive, but he also made plenty of errors.